You grab a sandwich at lunch, expecting energy to power through your afternoon. Instead, an hour later, you're fighting brain fog, reaching for coffee, and wondering why your supposed fuel is making you weaker. This isn't your body failing you. This is modern bread failing your body. The average slice of store-bought bread sends your blood sugar spiking faster than a candy bar. Your pancreas floods your system with insulin to handle this sugar rush. That insulin does its job so aggressively that it yanks your blood sugar below where you started, triggering what scientists call rebound hypoglycemia, the medical term for what you know as the afternoon crash. You're not eating food. You're eating a product engineered for shelf life, not human performance. A product that strips away everything your body needs and replaces it with chemicals designed to make it last months in a warehouse. But there was a time when bread was the opposite of weakness, when bread was engineered not for storage, but for strength. Not for profit, but for the endurance of warriors who could travel for days on a single meal. Not for the convenience of corporations, but for the stamina of hunters tracking prey across vast territories. That bread still exists. The science behind it is more sophisticated than anything in your local grocery store. And the contrast between what we've lost and what we've accepted will shock you. This is the story of how we traded a superfood for a toxin, and why the ancestors had it right. Walk into any grocery store and count the aisles dedicated to bread products. Dozens of brands promise everything from whole grain to enriched to fortified. Every loaf a testament to modern food science. Every loaf a nutritional disaster. Modern bread begins with industrial flour production, a process designed to destroy. High-speed roller mills attack wheat kernels at speeds that generate heat, obliterating the two most nutritious components, the bran and the germ. The bran contains fiber, B vitamins, and essential minerals. The germ holds healthy fats, vitamin E, and antioxidants. Both are stripped away and sold separately as expensive supplements. What remains is pure white starch. So nutritionally bankrupt that governments mandate it be enriched. This is corporate doublespeak for admitting the product is garbage. They remove 20+ nutrients, then add back 4 synthetic vitamins and call it improvement. It's like clear-cutting a forest, planting 4 plastic trees, and claiming you've enhanced nature. The bleaching comes next. Flour is treated with chemicals like benzoyl peroxide or chlorine gas to achieve that unnatural white color consumers have been programmed to prefer. These same chemicals further degrade any remaining nutritional value while introducing compounds your digestive system was never designed to process. Then comes the speed trap. Commercial yeasts are bred for one purpose: rapid fermentation. A loaf that once took days to properly develop now rises in under an hour. This rushed process skips the crucial step of breaking down complex carbohydrates and proteins, including gluten, that slow, traditional fermentation accomplishes. Your gut pays the price for this industrial impatience. The result is a product with a glycemic index higher than pure sugar. When you eat modern bread, your blood glucose spikes immediately. Your pancreas responds by dumping insulin into your bloodstream. This insulin surge is so powerful, it doesn't just neutralize the sugar, it overcorrects, pulling your blood sugar below baseline levels. This is the biochemical mechanism behind your afternoon energy crash. You didn't eat any food and got tired. You consumed a blood sugar manipulation device disguised as nutrition. A product engineered to create the exact metabolic chaos that leaves you weaker, hazier, and more dependent on your next fix. The ancestors would look at our bread aisles with the same confusion we'd have looking at a pharmacy full of toxins labeled as medicine. Because they understood something we've forgotten: bread was never supposed to make you weak. The ancestors didn't work with a single grain. They engineered a diverse, high-performance arsenal of ingredients that would make modern nutritionists weep with envy. While we've been programmed to think bread equals wheat, Native Americans understood that true nutritional power came from combining multiple sources into something greater than the sum of its parts. Corn formed the foundation, but not the sugary, hybridized sweet corn corrupting modern diets. These were dense, mineral-rich heirloom varieties packed with complex carbohydrates that released energy slowly and steadily. Varieties like flint corn and dent corn that could sustain a warrior through days of travel without the blood sugar roller coaster that modern corn triggers within minutes. Then came the powerhouse, acorns. A single acorn contains more nutritional density than most foods in your local supermarket. Complex carbohydrates for sustained energy, healthy fats for brain function and hormone production, minerals like calcium, phosphorus, and potassium that modern processed foods have systematically stripped away. But here's where ancient food science gets sophisticated. Raw acorns are toxic. They contain high levels of tannins that will make you violently ill. The ancestors developed an intricate detoxification process, leaching these tannins through repeated water treatments until the nuts became not just safe, but supremely nutritious. This wasn't primitive cooking, this was advanced chemistry performed without laboratories. Wild seeds completed the formula. Amaranth seeds deliver complete proteins with all essential amino acids. Sunflower seeds provide vitamin E and healthy fats. Mesquite pods add natural sweetness along with calcium and iron. Each ingredient is chosen not for convenience or cost, but for its contribution to the total nutritional profile. These weren't fluffy, airy loaves designed to dissolve in your mouth. They were dense, durable fuel sources. Peaky bread was so thin it looked like paper, but packed enough nutrition to sustain Hopi runners across desert distances. Corn pone is dense enough to carry in a pouch for days without spoiling. Acorn bread provides steady energy without the crashes that plague modern eaters. The preparation methods match the ingredients' intensity, grinding on stone metates that preserve nutritional integrity instead of destroying it with high-speed industrial heat. Cooking on hot stones or in ashes creates complex flavors while maintaining nutrient density, forming into shapes that maximize portability while delivering maximum fuel per ounce. This was food engineered for human performance. Every ingredient is selected for its ability to build strength, sustain energy, and support the demands of a physically challenging life. Not one component chosen for shelf life, appearance, or corporate profit margins. The contrast is staggering. Modern bread uses one stripped, bleached, nutritionally bankrupt ingredient pumped full of chemicals to simulate food. Ancient bread combined multiple nutrient-dense whole ingredients processed to unlock their maximum potential. We traded a performance-engineered superfood for a factory-manufactured weakness delivery system. And we convinced ourselves this was progress. The breakthrough wasn't an exotic ingredient or secret recipe. It was wood ash. Simple, humble wood ash that triggered a chemical transformation so sophisticated that modern food scientists are still studying its mechanisms centuries later. Native Americans discovered that treating corn with an alkaline solution made from hardwood ash didn't just change the corn's texture, it unleashed a nutritional revolution. This process, which scientists now call nixtamalization, was the difference between survival and disease, between strength and weakness, between a superfood and starvation. Here's the chemistry that changed everything. Corn naturally contains niacin, vitamin B3, but it's bound in a form your body can't absorb. It's locked away, chemically handcuffed to other compounds that your digestive system can't break apart. The alkaline solution from wood ash acts like a molecular key, cutting those chemical bonds and setting the niacin free. This isn't theoretical science. This is life and death biochemistry proven by history's most brutal experiment. When Europeans adopted corn as a staple crop without this alkaline treatment, they triggered a medical disaster. Pellagra, a horrific disease of niacin deficiency, swept through populations that depended on untreated corn. The symptoms were called the 4 Ds: dermatitis, diarrhea, dementia, and death. Entire communities suffered. Skin lesions that wouldn't heal, digestive systems that couldn't function, mental deterioration that destroyed families, deaths that could have been prevented with a handful of wood ash and the wisdom to use it. Meanwhile, Native Americans who had been eating corn for thousands of years never experienced pellagra. Not once. The alkaline treatment did more than unlock niacin. The wood ash itself infused the corn with massive amounts of bioavailable calcium. We're talking about calcium levels that would shame most modern dairy products, delivered in a form your bones could. actually use instead of passing through your system unused. The process broke down corn proteins, liberating essential amino acids like lysine and tryptophan that your body needs for muscle development and neurotransmitter production. It dissolved the tough outer walls of corn kernels, making them easier to grind and dramatically improving digestibility. Even the toxins couldn't survive this treatment. Mycotoxins, dangerous molds that grow on stored grain, were neutralized by the alkaline environment. The ancestors weren't just improving nutrition, they were eliminating poisons that modern industrial processing often ignores. The result was a complete transformation. Raw corn that would cause nutritional deficiency became a superfood that could sustain peak human performance. Simple kernels became slow-release energy capsules with a low glycemic index that provided hours of steady fuel without crashes. This wasn't an accident, this wasn't trial and error, this was food, engineering at a level that puts modern industrial processing to shame. While our factories strip nutrients and add chemicals to extend shelf life, the ancestors developed processes that unlocked nutrients and enhanced bioavailability to extend human life. They understood what we've forgotten. Food isn't just fuel, it's information. The chemical structure of what you eat becomes the chemical structure of your cells. The ancestors engineered that information for strength, endurance, and optimal function. We engineer it for convenience, profit, and shelf stability. The difference shows up in your body every single day. The difference between ancestral bread and modern bread isn't just ingredients or processing, it's the fundamental difference between fuel that builds your body and fuel that breaks it down. One was engineered for sustained human performance. The other was engineered for corporate profit margins. Take the energy profile. The nixtamalized corn combined with acorns, wild seeds, and nuts created what nutritionists call a low glycemic food matrix. The fiber from whole ingredients, the healthy fats from seeds and nuts, and the complex carbohydrates from properly processed corn work together to slow digestion and create steady glucose release. Your blood sugar rose gently and stayed stable for hours. Modern bread does the opposite. That stripped white flour hits your digestive system like a sugar bomb. Within minutes, glucose floods your bloodstream faster than your cells can process it. Your pancreas goes into crisis mode, dumping insulin to handle this metabolic emergency. The insulin works so aggressively that it yanks your blood sugar below where you started, triggering hunger, fatigue, and cravings for more processed carbs to fix the crash you just created. This is the insulin roller coaster that's destroying modern health. Spike, crash, spike, crash. Your pancreas is working overtime while your energy levels swing wildly throughout the day. The ancestors ate bread and felt energized for hours. You eat bread and need a nap. The protein quality tells the same story. Ancient bread combined corn proteins enhanced by alkaline processing with complete proteins from seeds and nuts. This delivers all essential amino acids your muscles need for repair and growth. Modern bread offers incomplete, low-quality protein from processed wheat that's been stripped of its most valuable components. The mineral content is even more dramatic. Wood ash processing infused ancestral bread with bioavailable calcium, potassium, and magnesium, minerals modern diets are systematically deficient in. Industrial bread processing removes these minerals, then adds back synthetic versions that your body can barely absorb. The digestibility factor reveals the true engineering difference. Slow processing and diverse ingredients made ancestral bread easy on your digestive system. The alkaline treatment broke down difficult-to-digest compounds. Natural fermentation pre-digests complex proteins. Your gut could extract maximum nutrition with minimum stress. Modern bread fights your digestive system at every step. Rapid fermentation leaves proteins intact that cause digestive inflammation. Chemical additives stress your gut bacteria. The lack of fiber disrupts healthy digestion patterns. You're working harder to digest food that delivers less nutrition. Here's the performance outcome that matters most. Native Americans could travel for days on dense, nutrient-packed bread that sustained their energy without crashes. The warriors could maintain peak physical performance. Hunters could track prey for hours without fatigue. Farmers could work from dawn to dusk, powered by food that supported their demands. Modern bread creates the opposite effect. You eat it and feel heavy. Your energy drops within an hour. Your mental clarity fogs. Your body craves more processed carbs to escape the energy deficit you just created. Instead of fuel for performance, you've consumed fuel for weakness. This isn't a coincidence. This isn't evolution. This is the predictable result of engineering food for different priorities. The ancestors engineered for human thriving, modern industry engineers for shelf stability, production speed, and addictive palatability that keeps you buying more. The science proves what your body already knows. We traded a high-performance fuel system for a metabolic sabotage system, and we call it progress. The solution isn't abandoning bread, it's reclaiming the engineering principles that made it a superfood instead of a metabolic wrecking ball. The science behind ancestral bread making represents thousands of years of refined food technology that you can apply today without moving to a reservation or grinding acorns by hand. Start with stone-ground whole grains. Real mills that crush grain between stones preserve the nutrient-dense germ and fiber-rich bran that industrial roller mills obliterate. This single change transforms your bread from a blood sugar spike delivery system into sustained-release fuel. Stone grinding generates minimal heat, keeping delicate vitamins and healthy fats intact instead of destroying them through industrial processing. Nixtamalized corn flour, masa harina, sits on grocery store shelves right now, waiting for you to understand its power. This is corn that's been through the same alkaline processing. The ancestors perfected with bioavailable niacinamide, unlocked and calcium content enhanced. You can buy tortillas made from real masa harina or make your own dense, nutritious flatbreads that deliver steady energy without crashes. Sourdough represents another ancestral principle. Slow fermentation that pre-digests difficult compounds and develops complex flavors while breaking down gluten proteins that stress your digestive system. Real sourdough, not the fake supermarket versions pumped with commercial yeast and preservatives, uses wild bacteria cultures that work for days to transform flour into something your body can actually process efficiently. Diversify your grain sources beyond the wheat monoculture that dominates modern bread. Amaranth flour delivers complete proteins. Buckwheat provides minerals and fiber. Quinoa offers all essential amino acids. The ancestors understood that nutritional power comes from combining multiple sources, not depending on a single stripped grain pumped with synthetic additives. Learn to read ingredients like a food detective. If you see enriched flour, you're looking at a nutritionally bankrupt product that had its natural vitamins stripped away and replaced with synthetic substitutes. If you see bleaching agents, preservatives, or ingredients you can't pronounce, you're buying industrial chemistry, not food. Seek out traditional preparation methods. Sprouted grain breads activate enzymes that make nutrients more bioavailable. Fermented grain breads develop beneficial bacteria that support gut health. Dense, hearty breads with nuts, seeds, and whole grains mimic the ancestral approach of creating complete nutritional profiles instead of empty calories. The key insight that changes everything: food is complex chemistry, not simple calories. Every ingredient either contributes to your strength or detracts from it. Every processing method either unlocks nutrition or destroys it. Every meal either builds your metabolic health or undermines it. Modern food science focuses on extending shelf life and maximizing profits. Ancestral food science focused on maximizing human performance and health outcomes. The chemicals, the speed, the convenience, all of it comes at the cost of your energy, your strength, and your long-term vitality. The ancestors didn't just survive on their bread, they thrived. They built civilizations, traveled vast distances, and maintained peak physical condition on foods that were engineered for their bodies, not for corporate balance sheets. You have access to better ingredients, better tools, and better knowledge than any generation in history. The only question is whether you'll use that access to reclaim the nutritional engineering that created superfoods, or continue accepting the industrial engineering that creates weakness disguised as convenience. The choice is literally on your plate at every meal. Modern society convinced you that trading ancient nutritional wisdom for industrial convenience was progress. You accepted bread engineered for shelf life over bread engineered for human performance. You believed that stripping nutrients and adding chemicals was an improvement over unlocking nutrients through natural chemistry. You trusted corporations to feed you better than civilizations that thrived for millennia without factories, without additives, without the metabolic disasters plaguing modern populations. The science doesn't lie. Wood ash processing that unlocked bound niacin and infused bioavailable calcium represents more sophisticated food engineering than anything in your supermarket. Stone grinding that preserves nutrients demonstrates more advanced technology than industrial mills that destroy them through heat and speed. Slow fermentation that pre-digested proteins shows more understanding of human biology than rapid yeasts that leave your gut struggling with inflammatory compounds. This isn't nostalgia, this is documented biochemistry. While Europeans died from pellagra eating untreated corn, Native Americans never experienced niacin deficiency because they understood alkaline chemistry at a molecular level. While modern populations crash from blood sugar spikes caused by stripped flour, the ancestors sustained steady energy for days on dense, nutrient-complete breads that delivered fuel without metabolic chaos. You're living in the most scientifically advanced era in human history, yet you're nutritionally weaker than people who ground corn by hand and cooked on hot stones. Your bread contains synthetic vitamins because the real ones were stripped away. Their bread contained natural vitamins because the processing methods enhanced bioavailability instead of destroying it. The difference shows up in your energy levels every single day. The afternoon crash that sends you reaching for coffee isn't inevitable. It's engineered into the food you've been programmed to consider normal. The brain fog that clouds your thinking an hour after eating isn't your fault. It's the predictable result of consuming blood sugar manipulation devices disguised as nutrition. Every slice of modern bread represents a choice between accepting industrial mediocrity or demanding nutritional excellence, between supporting your body's peak performance and sabotaging it with convenient weakness, between eating food and consuming products designed to create dependency on more products. The ancestors didn't have grocery stores, but they had something more valuable. They had food systems designed to make humans stronger, not weaker. They understood that what you put in your body becomes your body, and they engineered every meal to build resilience, not dependence. You have access to their ingredients. You have access to their methods. You have access to the science that proves why their approach was superior. The only thing standing between you and ancestral nutritional power is your willingness to reject modern convenience in favor of human optimization. The traditional knowledge is still here. The ingredients are still available. The choice is still yours. But every day you wait is another day of accepting weakness when you could be building strength. This channel exists to show you that the past wasn't primitive. It was advanced in ways modern society has forgotten. If you're ready to stop accepting nutritional mediocrity disguised as progress, subscribe and join the investigation into why ancient methods consistently outperform modern alternatives. The ancestors were right about bread. What else were they right about that we've been told to forget? That's what we're here to discover together.